I was held strongly to wrong thinking and wrong decisions, and that manifests into wrong things happening in your life. I didn't begin to get free till I start to realize, okay, God has made me an intentional way. He knew who my parents would be, what them coming together would cause in my genetics naturally. He knew what place I would be at what time, and he set things up to allow me to fulfill his reason for me being here. And I can know when I'm intentionally seeking after doing what God wants me to do, everything else just seems to, the cares just seem to fall off. Even though it can seem like, man, well, what about this and what about that? Well, that's going to take care of itself. And in fact, God gives us the wisdom to tell us, don't worry about tomorrow. He's not saying don't plan and make provision for it, but he's saying don't let that consume you worrying about what's going to happen tomorrow when today will have plenty to deal with. So even in my sobriety, when I changed over from being drunk and high every day, my focus couldn't be on, oh my goodness, the rest of my life I can never do that again. Because when you've done it for so long, that can seem insurmountable. Like, how am I going to now change these behaviors that I did every day for 10 plus years? But instead, I just said, well, today I don't want to do that. So today, this is what I want to do. And it allowed me, that was another way that freedom started to manifest in my life. So this is an opportunity for me to choose what I want to do. That's why when even Trump began to make the statement about making America great again, the only thing that can make America great again is allowing people to have the right information that would cause them to make right choices and exercise that choice. But we're kind of silently pushed to work within the parameters they've put up. Some good, and some not so good. But when the parameters that God puts before me says, this is how you treat people, this is what you do, man, I watch when I do those, how I feel as a person inside compared to how I feel when there's not happening. There's stress in my mind, there's no rest, I'm up at night thinking about things. But when I'm doing things according to the way he I have freedom to rest at night. I have freedom to go home and be a good grandfather, a good husband, because I'm not consumed with the other things that are attempting to get my attention and to get my time and to get my energy. So as we're going through, just even focusing on this, like, I think understanding what freedom is important, because for some people that can look different, but ultimately the real freedom has to come from our relationship with him and understanding what that looks like. That's why it's a journey. No kid gets born and then when he turns 1, he has his graduation party at high school for graduating. No, he has a process that they must go through. I don't care who they are, where they're born. I do not care. That is a process that is unavoidable in the life that we live, and so is this process of our life as a whole. That it will continue to be a journey to see the freedom God has given us to be who He's called us to be and to live the way He's called us to live, and in